Provided by Paper Industry International Hall of Fame, www.paperhall.org, which supports educational programs at the Paper Discovery Center, Appleton, Wisconsin, www.paperdiscoverycenter.org.
If language is to be considered the most important development for all of mankind, printing is likely to be accepted as the second most important invention. Printing turned writing into a mass medium, accelerating the spread of ideas, knowledge, and literature throughout the world. The developments of Johann Gutenberg to advance printing are, by every measure, extraordinary. Many have called Gutenberg's accomplishments the most significant of the past 2,000 years. Gutenberg was born in Mainz, Germany, in or around 1398. He was the youngest son of an upper-class merchant and his second wife. The Gutenberg family coat of arms is pictured here. Gutenberg is credited with inventing a method of printing from movable type in the mid-1400s. The letterpress printing process was used without significant change for the next 400 years. The elements of Gutenberg's invention consisted of a mold for casting metal printing type of precise shape and in large quantities. The invention included the use of metal alloy type and a new printing press, derived from the presses used in winemaking. Gutenberg also developed a smudge-resistant oil-based printing ink from lampblack, turpentine, linseed oil, and egg whites. None of these features existed in previous printing methods. Johann Gutenberg was trained as a goldsmith as a young man, and he used his knowledge of metallurgy to create metal molds for forming unbendable and unbreakable letter type from metal alloys. The individual movable type pieces could be arranged to form text for printing on vellum, parchment, and paper. The invention of metal movable type was an immeasurable improvement over woodblock printing and handwritten manuscripts. Gutenberg published his 42-line Bible in 1455. About 180 were printed, mostly on paper and some on vellum. The printing was done in Latin with black ink. Illustrators added beautiful color to the pages by hand. 48 copies are known to exist yet today. While these Bibles are widely celebrated, they were not the first of his printed works. The first printings were Latin school books. How important were Gutenberg's accomplishments? It has been estimated that within 40 years of the first Gutenberg Bible, between 8 and 24 million books had been printed, representing 30,000 different titles. In the year 1500, humanist Sebastian Brandt wrote that, quote, "Books have emerged in lavish numbers. A book that once would have belonged only to a king can now be seen under a modest roof. There is nothing nowadays that our children fail to know." Years ago, Mark Twain said, quote, "What the world is today, good and bad, it owes to Gutenberg. Everything can be traced to this source, but we are bound to bring him homage, for the bad that this colossal invention has brought is overshadowed 1,000 times by the good which mankind has been favored." Gutenberg died in 1468. More than 500 years later, the world continues to owe him tremendous gratitude for the wide-reaching and beneficial impact of his invention on our lives. The Gutenberg Museum in Mainz, Germany is one of the oldest museums of printing in the world and attracts experts and tourists from all corners of the globe. The Gutenberg Museum generously provided most of the visual materials for this tribute to Johann Gutenberg.